we should be here. Just going live real quick. If anybody is here, go ahead and like it. I don't know why. I need to stop freezing. Okay. All right. Let's see who is here in the house with us today. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully this is. Let me go out and see if this is because it says I'm supposed to be live. So, see what's happening. Okay, there we go. All right. So it looks like we do have volume. Okay. So you are in tune to a real quick hit of the beatzillapdx official podcast. Of course, this is your host, Beatzilla. I'm just doing this live on YouTube real quick. This article just came out maybe about an hour ago, if that, probably within the last half hour, 45 minutes. And it just came past my way. So I thought I wanted to share this real quick. Clearly, this is from BBC News, so this is something that they are putting out. So this is not, as you can see 2 hours ago. You can clearly see that this is not a conspiracy. I'm just here sharing facts, letting the family know some of the news. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article about what's going on with this. As you see, the title of this article is COVID Vaccine, Who Will Get Vaccinated First in the U.S.? Okay, so let me go ahead and just start reading a little bit of this for you. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, is meeting to decide how to distribute the COVID-19 vaccine as several drugs inch closer to approval. The Advisory Committee on Immunizations, excuse me for not being able to pronounce that today, practices will issue guidance on Tuesday to states, which will then choose which residents get jabs first. So, the individual states will determine on which residents get jabs first. That's kind of interesting wording for an article about something that's supposed to be good. We're looking at it as jabs, huh? That's a little troubling. Okay, so the next part is the panel is expected to prioritize the elderly and healthcare workers. There are 2 U.S. vaccines made by Moderna and Pfizer that are both seeking emergency approval. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, plans to meet on December 10th to discuss approval for the Pfizer vaccine. They will meet again on December 17th to discuss the Moderna requests. So on Monday, Vice President Mike Pence told U.S. governors in a conference call that rollout of the vaccine could begin as soon as the week of December 14th. The guidelines come as coronavirus cases continue to balloon across the U.S., with averages over 150,000 of new reported cases. The U.S. recorded a total of 13.5 million cases and 268,129 deaths, according to Johns Hopkins University. So that's just a little bit of what they're saying. But I mean, I think people could read between the lines, because they keep also stating and restating how black and brown communities will be the target, which also means the elderly. And I would have to say, with probably a good, strong 99% certainty, that would include the homeless as well. So, and on top of that, looking how to house the homeless. We just had a situation here, right, in Portland, Oregon, of people who homeless shelter actually had a breakout. So they're all quarantined, and they're all quarantined between, I guess, the homeless shelter and the hospital. So this just happened today. So these things are going on while a lot of people aren't really paying attention to the other thing. I mean, I guess, my first show again was The Art of Rat Mazing, which, they show a bunch of big major issues and they just throw them all at you at once from every side. So again, we're being hit with that. But in the meantime, they're passing laws. They passed a law last Friday to get the consent age for vaccinations without a parental consent down to the age of 14 in New York. So, and this is something that they're trying to roll out on a mass level. They've already made that intention known. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just think about this. So it says, who will get the vaccines first? This is still later down in the same article. Federal officials at the CDC seem to agree that the nation's 21 million healthcare workers should be prioritized first, as well as 3 million elderly Americans living in long-term care homes. But there is less consensus on how states should distribute it to other groups. That is that line that you want to worry about. So they put a lot of stuff in there and then they kind of hide one there. But there was a low consensus on how states should distribute it to other groups. Well, if that's the case, then that means that they still have an answer on how to do that. And that's not coming on a state level. I mean, it would be my conjecture that, that's what would be the case. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. That's all I could say. For certain people's sake, you might want to hope I'm wrong. Let's see. The nation's approximately 87 million essential workers are expected to be next in line for the jab. But it will be up to the states to decide which industries to prioritize. Now, I hope y'all are listening to this. And if you can, download this video. This article is up. It's up by the BBC. I don't know how long this will be up, but I mean, it is an article. All I'm doing is just reading it. So all they could do is, and this is, I'm just forwarding it on the email. I told you where it belongs. I'm just using it. So per the Free Information Act that is already well aware and known, we're going to go ahead and go forward. Alrighty. It goes on down to say, Monkey Slaoui, who leads the federal government's Operation Warp Speed vaccine distribution program, said he does not expect the states to make uniform decisions. You right about that. Yes, because the Project Warp Speed is already looking to use in Army enforcement to get everybody vaccinated in 24 hours. So, of course, that wouldn't look like anything on the state level. I hope y'all are hearing what I'm saying. So may prefer long-term care facilities or the elderly, while other may prioritize their healthcare workers. It would be wrong to immunize 18-year-olds first. I hope no one does that. But otherwise, it's shades of gray. Well, okay, I would have to ask that question. If we're not going to prioritize 18-year-olds, then what the hell is needed for 14-year-olds getting vaccinated without parental consent? How does that make sense? Well, okay. So, next. Officials say vaccinations for groups that are not in high risk are expected to take place in the spring of 2021. Let me say that again. Officials say vaccinations for groups not a high risk or at a high risk are expected to take place in 2021. Yeah. So now, oh, now it looks like they put my page back. They come on here real quick to just get this. They're already on my joint, which is crazy. So